Go.
Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Before Dirt Nap podcast number 1801. So we're getting there 25 days until we hit 5 years of daily lives. Yeah, I'm still scratching my head on that one. So tonight you can see we have a guest with us. This is Paul Russo, who is the who is a serial entrepreneur since the 7th grade, or was it the 4th grade?
Seventh grade.
7th grade. I have no idea what age that is.
That would be I don't know, 8, 9. Let's see, kindergarten is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know, 9 or 10, something 10.
Whatever 7th grade is, that's how long he's been an entrepreneur. So he's been one of these lifelong ones, and one of these kids that just sort of have some real fun to be around and selling things and always thinking and everything else. And so Paul, and he has this really cool company called I Putt Better, which will help you improve your putting game for golf. And we'll talk about that as well. So Paul, welcome to Before the Dirt Nap. How are you?
Well, I'm good. Thank you. I'm going to say I progressed into a new decade before the dirt nap today, but that's okay.
Yes, it's Paul's 60th birthday today, so hope you have a super fantastic sparkling birthday full of lots of love and laughter.
Yeah,
I've already heard about what he got up to today. So
yeah, that's crazy. 60.
I know. Hang on, what am I? 2.5 years away from that.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
I know. It was really funny because it was my brother's 55th birthday a couple of days ago. Well, 55th birthday yesterday here, but the day before on Thursday in New Zealand. So I can remember to call him on the 4th for his birthday.
No.
And I was like, oh, hell, he's 55? Dang, I got a brother that's 50. It was just mind-boggling that I have a brother that's 55 and my other brother is, what's he now, 52. He turned 52 back in January. And I'm like, how is it I have brothers in my 50s?
Yeah, really. Yeah.
I'm the oldest. So, I still think of them as the little kids we used to run around with.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Even though when I go back home to New Zealand, I get to see them, these fully grown men and everything else with their lives and their kids and everything. And I still can't, it still boggles my mind that my brothers are both in their 50s.
Right. It's like, how'd that happen?
Yeah. So Paul, speaking of birthdays and all of that sort of stuff, and you started when you were 7th grade.
Yep.
What started you on your entrepreneurial journey?
My parents went to one of these stores where they're selling everything, going out of business, selling everything. And they were shopping, and as we got close to the cash registers, they had these Tic-tac trees. And if you're my age, you'll remember they were these plastic.
I remember the Tic-tac trees. We had those in New Zealand too.
See? And everything was for sale. So I got an interest-free loan from my parents, as I say, and bought one. Took it to school, had a little bag, and I was selling to my schoolmates, and I paid my loan off to my parents. So and then I had enough money to go back and I bought 2 more. So you're scaling, right? This is all before I knew all this stuff. Now I know what to call it. And sold all those, went back, and the store was closed. So about a month. But hey, you have to start somewhere, right?
Exactly. Everybody's got to start somewhere.
And so then after that, I told you, then I moved into yo-yos. So my friends would have broken yo-yos, so I'd fix them. It was pretty much just putting on a string, not a whole lot to a yo-yo. And I turn around, they give them to me, and I turn around and sell them back to them for fixing them.
I love it.
Hey, why not? It's like sometimes it's like, what's the need? So if you're someone in school, whatever, what's the need? What's the latest thing, and how do you get into like fixing them? And because when someone breaks something, it's like, well, can it be fixed? You earn a couple dollars or so. Who knows today's? What are you making today? I'd get $1 for a yo-yo or something like that, and I was like, wow, I'm rich.
And probably today you'd probably get like about $20.
Yeah.
With the difference between back then and now, it's probably like $20.
Yeah, it's talk about that. When I was mowing yards, that was my kind of next experience. A few years, and when I learned it wasn't a chore, I could make money at it. Like, oh, I can make money at this, so I got faster. Yeah, the faster you mow a yard, the more yards.
A ride-on mower.
Yeah, no, there weren't none of those back then. And the yards, I knew you were raised in New Zealand. The yards here, probably same, different, but I would get like $4 to $6 a yard, which now when they were doing my yard, it was like $50 to do my yard, and I was making $4 or $6, and I'm like, man, times have changed.
Yeah, I paid a
Yeah.
guy $30, no, $100 to fix up my yard to be HOA standard, and he was out there for a good 3 hours doing it.
Oh yeah. So, but I was able to make some pretty good money mowing yards back in the day, and talk about my first car mowing yards, and it was a '73 Bug, so it wasn't too expensive, but still, it was mine.
73
And
Bug?
yeah, had it for a long time.
Classic VWs.
Yeah. So I've always worked. I mean, I went from that to some W-2 jobs, as I went through high school and college, and didn't do a lot of entrepreneurship then, and came out of college and kind of started back up again. So always been into something.
I love it. I'm trying to think, what was my first business that I had? I actually found we had some paper and stuff, and so I set up a little stand outside the front door of our place when I was, what was I, 9, 10, and I was selling pieces, and these were perfectly square, like perfect for origami, pieces of paper, and I was selling them like, a penny. Well, you guys call it a penny, it was 1 cent. And doing that, and so I was selling these sheets of paper.
And it's kind of interesting when you mention that, because my brother was also doing things. He was selling placemats.
Placemats? Interesting.
Oh, he was making a killing. I didn't do the placemats, but I should have. But he was making a killing. They had.
So what sort of placemats was he selling? Did he make them, or did he have somebody make them?
He bought them and resold them. So he had, it was like sets of either 4 or 8, for a table setting. And one was like Christmassy, one was Thanksgiving, one was spring, one was summer. So likelihood of getting someone to buy like a Christmas one, well, they're probably going to buy another one, and so he could sell all 4 seasons, 4 for a season or 8 a season. It was really good money back then. He was doing really, and I never did placemats, but it's kind of. So he did some entrepreneurship too, and it paid for his, like, he was taking piano lessons at the time because the lady 2 doors down taught piano. He wanted to take piano. And I think he sold seeds too, for different vegetables and flowers and things like that. And back in the day, I mean, we're talking mid-'70s.
Yep.
It was no problem knocking on someone's door.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, your neighbor. Yeah.
And today it's sort of like, no, we're not doing that.
No one's going to answer. You can't go anyways. But back then it was the old, run to the neighbors. I need a cup of sugar. Here you go. Yep.
We used to, we had fundraisers for school where you go door knocking and selling sponges with the pot scour on one side and the sponge on the other. We'd go sell those door to door. And our parents would just let us go off by ourselves to go do it. And whereas today it's either we don't do the door knocking thing, or if you do, you've got a responsible adult with you.
Right.
You don't do it by yourself. And I'm just like, really?
Yeah. Now it's mainly, here, take this to work and see how many people you can get to sign up, and we'll deliver it.
Yeah. All those sorts of things. And
change of time. So, so my brother and I were he doesn't do anything like that anymore, but he did it for a while. Now that I think about it, we're talking about it, it's like, oh yeah, he did that type of stuff.
Those memories come back as you start talking about things like
that. Yeah. Well, the older you get, that's all you remember is what happened in the past. You can't remember 5 minutes ago. So I've been told. You should
be writing this stuff down for future generations.
I said, so I've been told. I have my electronic digital pad right here. So thanks. Wow, friends.
You know me, I'm all about telling your story and making it last for future generations and things, which is really cool when I get to bring guests on who can talk about their past and bring up their memories and things like that. Because when they're gone, this video will still be there.
Yeah. That's what your company is about, right?
Absolutely. Living your best life now, and it's all before the dirt nap, and it's telling that story and finding out where you came from and things like that. And I have a friend, and her phrase is, "We are the ancestors of our future generation."
True.
And when you think about it, you're like, Oh, yeah, we really are because and then I've got another there's a meme that I have somewhere. I know it's in my Canva thing somewhere about how we carry a piece of our past generations always carried with us. So all of those people that have come before us, they're part of us forever, you know.
Right. I've worked with a lady in send out cards,
Hmm.
and she ran a senior center in a couple of houses. She was licensed by the state, and what she would do is she'd do like this with a videotape, and she'd ask
Yeah.
her clients stories. It was stories they had never really told their family, and then she would either I can't remember she put them on like a server, some kind of secure server, and send them a link, or would send them video and just all kinds of stuff that family never thought to ask, like what did you and your husband do on Valentine's Day, and just
Yeah.
different things. And family was like, wow, I never heard that story. So yeah,
There's a
stories
company
are
I'm betting. There's a company
stories are
I'm
a good
betting
thing.
right now that will help tell your story as well.
Yeah,
So I've already asked them how to become an affiliate because I couldn't find an affiliate link button on their website. So they've actually sent me the link to sign up as an affiliate, and I'm actually
well,
going
that's
to try
good.
and get them to come.
Yeah.
I get the founders to come on and talk about the product.
Oh, that's good. That's yeah.
Yeah, because it helps people tell their story
Right.
in a very fun way.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because yeah, it's you think of generations that have gone, and you're like, and each generation forgets a little more, and or it's like my cousin's my cousin's kids don't know their great granddad,
Hmm.
who was very instrumental in World War II, but they can tell a few stories, but they really don't know what it was like, and those type of things. So yeah,
Yeah.
history is. I've always been interested in history, so that's a thing for me too.
I love history.
Yeah, it's good.
I love looking up history. It's always fun. All right, so let's fast forward now because you've got this company called I Putt Better, which is a very interesting concept on how you can help golfers improve their putting skills. Um, so tell us how somebody who is a non-golfer got into the golf business because I mean,
Oh,
I just think it's really cool that you're doing something that you have no experience that you've had no experience in the past, and now you're learning about a new thing. And has it inspired you to take up the game?
I'm busy. I'm working. It's like I need to work on my business, not in my business, so I can go out there and well, it's really funny because I've learned the lingo and I've learned things and I've watched more golf. My wife's like, I'm going in the other room if you're watching golf. Okay. It's like I need to subscribe to the golf channel so I can just watch all the pros putt really bad, because it's just not the new person. So when I'm working with golfers and talking about products and out there, I, and I tell them I'm not a golfer, they kind of laugh, and a lot of them say, "Well, that's kind of cool because you've taken the time, like you said."
Mhm.
And it came out of true entrepreneurship. That's where it came from. Um, I'll bring up send out cards again. Spent a lot of time there. Use that product for a condo that we had, um, audio video company that we had. We always use cards,
Yep.
to cycle through things, to keep up with people, to announce new products. And so I knew a lady in Snout Cards, and I met her husband, and he's an inventor of things. He's invented several things. And when his first wife passed, he had some kids, and he was a golfer, and he played, I think, baseball in college. So, widower, kids, not much time for the golf course. So he designed some putting greens that he could use around the house that would keep him up and running, so to say, and give him a little golf. So the first thing we did is he did putting greens. So I got to know him and I said, so tell me about these putting greens that you have in this unique industry, this unique puck. We use this instead of a ball on our greens. And he kind of explained it to me and he says, you want me to send you a few? I'm like, sure, why not? Hey, never turn something down. So we did, and I gave them to some of my golfer friends because I said, I don't know anything about this thing. This guy sent them to me. What do you think? But I only let them have them for 2 weeks because I wanted them back.
I love that.
Because also, and it did work, if they really liked it, they would want to buy one.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you have to think on your feet. As an entrepreneur, you have to think future. So I thought, you know, if I let these guys use it, I want it back because I only have so many. And then if they really like it, they're going to want to buy one, but I don't know what the price is yet. We'll get to that. So I gave it to some of my golf friends. The one guy said, I've been looking for something like this all my life. I gave it to some high school golf coaches I knew to use it for a couple of weeks with their golfers. And they were starting to see improvement in their putting and out there, you know, because golf's big business, not only
It's
for the
huge.
older people. The largest percentage of golfers is over 65 because they retired.
Mhm.
But the youngsters have to come up. My best friend's son's been golfing for, I don't know, 6 or 8 years, and he's a senior in high school. You know, so they started that level. So that's why I gave it to some high school coaches. They all loved it. And then they started saying, "So can I buy these?" I'm like, "Sure, I have a few in the back of my truck." And they're like, "How much?" And I'm like, $40. And I did that for a reason. That's why you have to think on your head, because if I said 30, in my mind, they would have said, "Well, I have a 20." So they're going down. But if I say 40, golfers carry money because they're always betting up on the thing. So everyone always has 220s that I know. So they're okay, 40.
Very
So I'm like,
smart.
So I was kind of like drug dealing putting greens out of the back of my truck. Because in my truck, I carry 3 putters, a 7-iron, and a driver because we've kind of expanded a little bit. But because people want to see them, so I have them in the back of the truck. So I'll just drop them on a parking lot or on a sidewalk if someone really wants to see one right then and there, because they'll buy them. And so it's like, yeah, I said, it's going to be a little awkward on a asphalt because it's all crooked and all that, but you'll get the feel. So we use this as a puck instead of a ball. And it's the weight of a golf ball, and it has these little nubs that you can see on them.
Yep.
They simulate the size of a golf ball. Can't really see it that well.
Oh,
So this full size of golf ball, this is a little less, so you have to tighten up your putting stroke. So this is
I
amateur.
didn't
You got
realize
a
that
little,
those 3 sides were different
yeah,
sized humps.
you get a little leeway here. You turn it to pro, you get less of a leeway. You have to do a better stroke. When you get to tour, I just kind of call it ridiculous because there's not very much.
Yeah.
But people are learning how to hit that, and there's like virtually you have to be dead on straight. And the whole idea is to simulate. I'm going to show you one of our greens. This is a small mock-up for videos, because when I drag out a 4-foot and 8-foot green, it's kind of hard to really maneuver on I get swallowed up. You know? So I'm like, so I had my manufacturer make me some small ones.
Oh, what a great idea.
Yeah, so this is actually a 4-foot green. There's the top, there's the bottom, and it's half a foot wide. And the way it works, and then I had another friend, you'll like this, see, thinking outside the box. That's the full version, right?
You've got
There's
a mini one for the mini one. I love it.
I had, and it's actually what it is. It's actually 1/3 of
That
regular
is
puck.
awesome. And
So
that fits on that little mini one that you can.
I gave this to my friend. I said, I need a small one that's about this size so I can use it on my. So he 3D printed me a couple of these, you know. So when I do a demo, I can use, because
That's
this kind of
awesome.
takes over a little bit. So the whole idea is simple, nothing hard. We're doing basic putting. Can I hit this? Because this is what we hit. Can I drive it straight for 4 feet into the hole?
Nice.
That's the premise, because you'd be surprised when people hit the golf ball and they don't have any lines to use. And I'll explain those in a second. They'll hit it and this thing will start peeling off this way, or it'll start peeling off that way, which means not hitting it straight. And out on a putting green, there are no lines. So what we do is we use these lines as visualization tools. I don't have an actual putter in here. I got a golf ball. I got a
You need
foot.
to get a mini putter to go with your mini.
I do. I was looking at all my little stuff things. So here's our putter right here. Make do. So see this line that goes across here?
Yep.
We want to see how your putter, let me use that side because it's how your putter is crossing that line when it impacts the puck.
Oh.
So if you hit it straight on, your face angle, they call it face angle, is straight, it's going to go straight down the green. Okay?
Yep.
If you have your putter, if I'm standing over here and I have my putter, see how it's off just a little bit?
Yep.
less green, more
Mm-hmm.
white.
So it's
When I
going to
hit
go
it,
from the side.
it's going to go this way because it's
Yeah.
physics. Because that's the angle that the putter's facing. That's open. Closed is when your putter is a little this way. And when you hit it, which way is it going to go? It's going to go this
Go
way.
the other way. Yeah.
So the idea is visualizing how your putter comes across this line, watching. Because I'll get a lot of people, they'll be there and they'll be just a tad off, and they'll hit it, and it'll start going straight, and all of a
Then it
sudden it
curves up.
starts floating. And like, I don't know why it's doing that. Like, well, let's look at your putter, and you'll see they may start straight, but when they swing, they come back and they're swinging different areas, and it's like so they can visually see. So most people I can fix their putting within a few minutes, but they have to
Nice.
practice. So that's one. Then we have our 8-foot green.
Oh,
It's
it's
foot
got little.
wide, 8 foot long, and set up like a shuffleboard because
Yeah.
people like
Yeah.
games. All right. So this is also a betting tool. So, when you golf, it's alcohol, carts, and betting. So I'm not sure why we give people alcohol, let them drive, and play with money. But
And then isn't there cigars involved in there somewhere along the way too for
yeah,
some
there's
people?
all kinds of other things, and it's the same concept with this. How are you striking?
Mm-hmm.
So now what it is, it's 8 feet. So if my putter impacts straight on 8 feet, good. If I'm a degree off, open or close, that's what they call it when you're not straight. If you're
Yep.
1 degree off, you will miss a putt at 8 feet
Yeah.
because that 1 degree here is 1 degree here. But as you go down the green, that 1 degree starts to grow, right?
Yep.
And then what happens? You miss the hole.
Mm-hmm.
So I told people it's basic putting. Can we get you from any of these lines here straight down? Or you can pick any of these lines. It doesn't matter which line you do. I always just use the middle one.
Yep.
But if you were gaming this thing and you wanted to try to hit what is that? That's a 6. So if you wanted to try to hit the 6, you're going to use this line here, the 9s. And I have shot it from this corner all the way over to this 9 because it's a straight line. Once you get straight, it's straight.
Yeah.
I can be straight on this than drawing in Canva. I'm just saying. Because turns out our friend says Canva's easy. I'm not so sure about that. But so we print these. So my company is located in Grapevine, Texas. We print these local.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out as a white mesh initially. We can print any color, any emblem, any. So not only we sell them to golfers, we're doing a lot of B2B.
Yep.
Um,
Or you can put business logos on and they can give them away.
yeah,
And that's
we put business logos on them. As I go out of the screen. Let's see. Game Day Men's Health. Okay, now you're going to see the real thing. I should have had this ready, but it's the unpacking. So this is our actual 8-foot green. It's a foot wide, it's 8 foot long. Game Day Men's Health. It's a men's health clinic. Game
cool.
Day, they have games there. So what they do in the men's health things I found is they'll take some blood and they'll analyze it. They can do it on spot. It takes like 10 minutes. So while you're waiting, you have a game so you can putt.
Oh, that is so cool.
Isn't it? And then here's the fun part of having an 8-foot.
You can put, I love that. QR codes on there and everything.
QR code, their website, name of the company.
That's awesome. So
this is where we're doing a lot of B2B.
Yep.
Because people are using it for marketing tools.
Mm-hmm.
It's I tell realtors, it's no longer a gift because in a lot of states you can only give so much in gifts.
Yep.
It's marketing. It's now marketing because it has your logo on it.
Absolutely.
So
that's smart.
But I have a ton of these things. This is a golf course that's nearby. They do them in their pro shop, and we can print any color. This one's a different color. It's green, but there's our logo, Champion Circle.
Yep.
And it's really good. It stands out well.
It does stand out well against the green background.
And the green, the printing. So remember, it comes out like this.
Yeah.
Initially, and so when we get down to theirs, I'm gonna have to redo all this stuff now. I'm taking it apart. It says
Champion Circle. Awesome.
Yeah. So they sell them in their pro shop.
Nice.
And golfers buy them and they take them home and they practice. But when I sell them to people and clients, I tell them there's a way that you can get this for free. And they're like, really? Intriguing question. I go, how's that? I said, well, you take it home, you practice like 100 times, and you invite all your buddies over, and you do what you do on a golf course. You start drinking, you start betting. I said, you'll make it back in no time. They all laugh and they think it's a great idea. But it's like that's part of being an entrepreneur, is just having fun at what you're doing.
Yep.
And golfers are fun guys and gals, young ladies too. And so it's another way to try to make a sale. I mean, let's look at it. We're entrepreneurs. We're spending money to make these things. We're trying to make some money.
But you're also at the same time solving their problem of helping them to putt better. They putt ferociously on the green or whatever. It's not going as straight as it should. And so now you're providing them a tool to help them with that.
When you actually practice, your putting will get better. It's not one of those gimme things.
Yeah.
I mean, so I was listening to a TikTok video the other day with Tiger Woods. He says when he's getting ready for a championship golf event, he will hit a ball. He'll hit 1,000 balls a day. Mm-hmm. Whether he's driving, putting, chipping, whatever. So, anything you do, you have to practice, right? Yep. We have to practice our elevator speeches. We have to practice our presentations for different things. Golfers need to practice. And it's so much golfers enjoy on the driving range because they can hit it and it can fly off. When you putt, it's not that much fun. I mean, let's be realistic about it. It's not. But that's where everyone struggles. Well, the majority, they can get to the green, but they can't get to the hole because it's like I think it's 4 1/4 inch hole, and
I don't know what the diameter is of that thing.
Yeah, I look it up so I can remember. But the funny thing is, the same thing. You remember we talked about the face angle, how it's either even or it's open or closed. Same thing with driving. It's the same concept. You get up there and you hit it straight, it's going to go where you want it to. You hit it to the left, and it's going sideways. And you're going to hit that tree, and you're going like, ah. So figure if you work on your putting and you learn how to go straight, it's going to help your overall game.
True.
And I tell people, we're not teaching you how to go over hills and valleys and these type of things. We just want you to get from here to there. If you can't get from here to there, how are you going to get it when you have some of these undulations and the greens are flowing in one direction, your ball's going another? I mean, there's a lot more to putting, and I know that. But I'm just trying to get them to hit that ball straight.
Yeah.
Consistently.
And
if they get it straight, then they work on their speed because some are hitting it too hard and it'll bounce out. Some are hitting it too soft, but you have to be able to get it straight first and then work. So basics, right? We know basics for everything.
Basic physics.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
No one wants to putt because it's not as fun. We want to go out there, and it's like when Susie and I went to Topgolf one time. She loved hitting that thing as far as she could. She said it was like softball. You just hit the ball as hard as you can, which is fine, And she was doing really well. It's like, you're going to drive them, I'm going to putt them, right? We'll create a team. And so the other thing that we have is called the big golf ball.
I was about to ask you about the big one because I could see it there in your hand with the regular size.
I'm going to learn how to juggle one of these days. YouTube will teach you anything. Right? But I think I'm going to start off with the squishy ones. So if I drop it doesn't hurt my foot or my head or something like that. Start with these. So here's your balls. Which one do you want to play with? And I got a whole bunch of squishy things here. You need a commode? Squish commode. You need here's one. Maybe is this adult oriented? It's not that adult. It's not that adult.
Yeah, it's open to the public, so.
There's a chiropractor, So I told
that is very important.
I told one of my friends, I said, hey, come here. I was at a show. Like, hold this up there. I want to take a picture. He goes, why? I said, because you're a butt. And see if I want to.
Big golf ball.
This is too much fun. See if I want to kick your. So the big golf ball, squirrel. I'm squirrel. So the concept between the big golf ball It's an ounce heavier than your regulation, and it's a little bigger, as you can tell. It's a putting trainer and warm-up device. So if you spend your time with this and you get straight, you can actually use the balls and the greens after you get used to it. Because I do that. I'll putt with this, but it just goes too far. You have to chase it. So you're out there on your green. You're just getting set up. You're wanting to practice. You practice with this because it's harder to get in the hole because it's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So comes out of Canada. The gentleman that made it, he was struggling with his putting. And his concept was middle school basketball. When he started with middle school basketball, they gave him a larger, heavier ball to play with, to bounce and to throw into the hoop. So it's harder to get in because it was heavier, and it's harder to get in because it was bigger than regulation. The hoop was the same size. Then when he could do that pretty well, then they gave him back to a regulation ball. Lighter, easier to get into the hole. Same concept. So think of warming up. You start 5 feet.
Yep.
Just warming up. Get it in 5 or 6 times. Go back to your regular ball. It's like putting a marble in a Home Depot bucket. That's the whole idea. And then what I've worked with this one golfer, it's just like, okay, he was golfing. He was putting this ball like 45 feet. So he's doing what most golfers don't do. They'll do short putts when they're warming up. Golfers need to learn how to long putt, 15, 20, 25 yards. Because the pros get out there and they're 25, 30 yards from a hole. You're not always going to be 5 to 8 feet. So he's doing this. I'm like, hey, let's use this one after he tried a few times. Let's shoot it right way down there where you were. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah, it's a golf ball. It feels like a golf ball. Sounds like a golf ball. It's like a golf ball.
A little bigger and a little heavier.
A little bigger, a little heavy, and it's not going to screw up your game. People go, is this going to screw up my game? No. So he hit it, and it went, we'll say it was 45 feet. It went about 40 feet and slowed down and turned to the left just a little bit. But he was dead on to get this thing in there. So you can also chip with it, because if you have a chipping wedge, it's metal. You don't want to drive with it, especially with the new drivers. You'll punch a hole in your driver because it's too heavy. But I tell people, they always ask, can I drive with it? I'm like, only if you give me a video, because you have to buy a new driver. If you can convince whoever your partner is that you need a new driver, that you had to get one because you broke it, I'm all for it, but I want video. So these are our basic tools. And once again, there you go. We custom brand.
Yep.
So once again, if you have a company function or if you just want to have some fun, I had a lady, I don't know if you know her, Gloria, I forget her last name. She's big in network marketing. She lives right down the street from, have you heard of Jim Packard?
Yep.
Okay, she lives like 3 houses from Jim Packard in Arizona, as a matter of fact, in Phoenix. So they're not far from you. And we were actually doing some network marketing training. She bought 14 of these to give away for Christmas to all her golf friends, because they lived on a golf course, because we were talking about things. We got into golf, and she's a big time golfer, and Jim Packard is, and all her friends are big time golfers. And so she gave these to them for Christmas because they're unique. And once again, like our putting greens, they work. You just have to use them.
Yep. Like
most golfers are putting these on their desk because they just want to play with them. They're a great stress ball. I mean, it's like, you saw me playing with both of these in my hand. They're great. So it's like, you can do what you want after you pay the bill. So we've branched a little further in the golf business to drivers, because everyone says, okay, we're out there in an event and they're playing with they're putting around with our gadgets. Like, so what can you do for my driving? And my initial comment was, I can order you an Uber driver, but that's about as far as I could do. Exactly. They laughed. They're like, that's good. So now I have teamed up an affiliate with a company. They offer some drivers and some driver trainings, and so I take a driver and a 7-iron out with me, so that they can practice, and then I can give them the website, and they like it. They can buy a full-fledged one, because the ones I have are trainers, but it gives them a chance. So I did that because everyone's asking, what can you help me with my driving? And if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business person, you need to listen to your customers.
Yep.
So let's talk about customers for a minute. Your customers can say, this is cool. That's cool. And I like that. But mine were saying, what can you do for my driving?
Yeah.
And it's like, what can I do for their driving? I'm a putting guy. What can I do for the driver? It's like, okay, I found this performance golf place and they have an affiliate and I talk to them and I work with them and they send me emails to send out for various, trying various things. They have a new wedge out. So I have some of their products and I keep those in the back of my car too. And we either use them or right now I lent the driver to a friend of mine that's a golfer. He wanted to try it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm responding to my customers' needs. If
Exactly, solving a problem.
Right, because a lot of people, just in business in general, think they know what their customers want. And that's where we get ourselves in trouble because we're going to write a book that everyone wants and buy 1,000 copies, keep them in our garage, and the rats are going to eat them because no one wants the book, you know? And like you and my friend Casey has said many times, sell it first, then build it.
Yep.
So, okay, you want irons? I'm going to go out and get me a couple of irons so that way you can do the thing. And I don't know what else we're going to branch into. We're just listening to what our customers want. And
excellent. I love this. And I love how it's just gone from just having the puck to now having the big ball, and you've gone down and you've even downsized it so they can have like a little desktop one as well. And
exactly. Yeah. And that's part of it too, because what I want to do, and you're exactly right. So instead of having my logo there, I can give them some with their logos and exactly.
But you've got to have the mini putter to go with it.
I know. I've got to find me a mini putter. So
they can sit at their desk and putt.
Yeah. Really not getting work done. But, you know, but what I also tell people, I said, if you're putting this in an office, start your meetings like 5 minutes early. They're like, why? I said, because you're going to have this out front of your door and you're going to have a couple putters there and y'all are going to stand around putting and you're going to break the ice and you're going to have some fun. And you're either going to have the meeting out there in the hallway while you're putting, or you go into the office and everyone will be, hey, having fun and, you know, take the tension or whatever the deal maker thing is. I said, think about that because we as business people want clients that are relaxed, that are in a good state of mind. Mm-hmm. A clear mind says yes. A confused mind says no.
Yep.
And if you're going into some kind of meeting and it's a big meeting and meetings just kind of make people feel like this sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Break up the monotony and just put around for a couple minutes.
Because it could be that you're going to pitch to a new client and it's like, oh, we've got another pitch to sit through. You get them playing that beforehand, it's going to be a bit of a breeze. It's going to be easier to go through.
Exactly. And if my clients are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where I am, we're in Grapevine, which is right next door, I will actually deliver. And I'll take my putter in with me because we're going to end up putting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to take it out of the box and I'm going to lay it on the floor and show how to use it. And that way, and one guy said, you know, if you just mailed it to us because he wanted it in a contest, because we probably wouldn't have done anything with it. But when we were actually using it, he started putting, then his boss came out and started putting. And I told his boss, I said, you know, you're open. The putter's facing away from him like this instead of like this. He goes, yeah, I've always been open. He's like, I said, would you like me to fix that? He's like, can you? I'm like, sure. So within 5 minutes, we had him golfing straight.
Nice. Love
and
that.
I told him, I said, remember, you're going to have to go home and practice because we moved his feet just a little bit to turn his hips.
Yeah.
And I said, it's awkward. He goes, yeah. I said, well, you have to play it so it's muscle memory so it doesn't feel awkward. Because the next time you miss when you're open, you're going to remember me. And you remember what I told you because I showed you how to hit it straight. And you're going to go, oh, yeah, I need to move my foot the way that what Paul said so I can make some money on my putts. Like, talk about money, right? It was a wealth management company. So it is about money. So things like that, you know, and it's fun. I enjoy it. And, you know, that's kind of how we got into the golf business is just, you know,
right place at the right time.
Yeah. And being open, you know, I was reading a book on clarity and I know you know about clarity and it says clarity to a point, but you have to leave yourself open. You can't get so focused on your clarity that you miss something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can say, I want to
ask.
Got
to be open to ideas.
And you got to look around. And when I saw this and I started talking to Dave, the inventor, and he started telling me about it and what it does and how it sells and stuff like that, you know, and it's the same thing. If you're going to do a business, you should enjoy it. You should learn about it. I'm proof you don't have to be in that business. You don't have to be a golfer, but you have to spend the time to learn.
You still got to learn about the game and everything else, so you can talk the lingo as well as helping them with an issue that they're having and learning the terms that they use, like the open and the close and things like that. So
and and sometimes I'm out on Google looking up terms.
Yeah.
Hey, Google and YouTube, and any industry has newsletters. Read other newsletters and see what they're talking about, and then you learn how to focus your newsletters. So right now my series of newsletters is starting from the basics of like putting exercises for your body.
Yep.
And then your putting stance, your putting grip, just all putting. And every now and then I throw in something after. A couple weeks ago, I threw a quick one in after one of the tournaments because it was kind of a funny tournament. And the number one female in the world, she won 7 in a row. And her next one, so when you're on some golfers understand it. When you're on a course, each hole has a distance. So if it's like a par 3, you have 3 shots to get into the hole. Or if it's a par 5, you get 3 to drive, 2 to putt. If you 3 putt, that means you don't want a 3 putt. That means you're losing a stroke. She's a professional. She 10 stroked.
Ooh.
It took her 10 putts to get into the hole. It just destroyed her turn, but she had just won 7 in a row. Number one female in the world in golf. And they still struggle.
Yeah.
So we can't think as amateurs that, I don't need to putt.
If you're having an off day, you're having an off day, and that ball's going to go wherever it wants to go.
You are. I saw the number one male golfer. He lives here in Dallas. His name's Scotty Scheffler. FedEx Championship 2 years ago. He was number one. Prize for number one was $16.5 million. He was leading. He lost. He came in second. Because that day he could not putt to save his life.
Yeah.
So he made.
You can tell when they're having off days, and
so he made $5 million instead of 16. That was the difference between first and second.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. So that's it's in the mind, but it's also in the vision.
Yeah. Well, Paul, thank you so much. We are over time, but thank you so much for coming on today. I totally appreciate it.
Yeah, it was
great
fun.
Conversation on golfing, but it's not just golfing when you think about it, because you're also thinking about the mindset that you have to have. And it's that muscle memory thing, which will apply to any business that you're in. It's doing it's doing the practice and the repetition to get things squared off so that you're hitting everything straight.
Right.
Now, you've got an offer that if they go to iPutBetter.com, they can sign up for your latest news and information. And is that where they get the newsletter with the
they'll get the newsletter. Also, I know we're over time, but I do have if I can sign in real quick, if you got 30 seconds, I do have an existing offer.
We're out of time at the moment, unfortunately. You'll have to come back. This is the invite to come back and talk about the other thing.
All right, see you tomorrow. No. So sign up. Let me know that you heard from me on Helen's video podcast, and we'll work a deal with you.
Awesome. Love that.
There you go.
But Paul, thank you again for coming on. And I know we took time away for you on your 60th birthday. So go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Enjoy your dessert, because I think that was on the next on the plan.
I think that was the next thing. Yeah.
And Susie, did you hear that one?
Yeah.
Dessert now.
She's ready.
Zufi's like, it's the end. I'm ready for my walk.
Dessert. All right. I'm ready. Pup cup.
She says you're wrapping up. Let's go. Come on. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching. Yep. And to go to iPutBetter.com, sign up for the newsletter so you get all that great information about this really cool tool to improve your golf game. Even if you don't play golf, but you like going to the putt things, you can go and practice the putt that thing that way. Might get a better score next time. But we'll be back tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific.